Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. And now, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside, as my sidekick, Kevin Taken, has already said. And we are in the studio here also with our producer, Rob Hebert. Rob, say hello.
Hello.
There he is. Rob Hebert. Him and his wife just got a brand new little terrier mix.
Really?
What did you name it?
Maddie, short for Madeline.
Oh, so it's a girl, Madeline. I have a little Charlotte Terrier mix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
She barks at me.
So everybody, wow, the holidays are over. This is our first time back in the studio. Woo! Since the holidays are over. And
Yeah.
I think, what's funny to me is, everything opens up on this year. It was the Tuesday after New Year's Day and then officially New Year's Day, which I found very nice of the government to give us,
Yes.
or whoever decided that. You got New Year's Day on Sunday, and then you got another day, right?
Very nice. The government's so generous, with these holidays. It's nice.
Oh, man, they dish them out. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The government, a lot of people criticize the government, but I mean, come on. They gave us a day.
They gave us a day off,
Gave us a day off. So anyway, what's very funny is that on Tuesday... Someone's calling me already. Oh, fuck, I was supposed to call Ron. Anyway, so on Tuesday, everybody's back. And what I think is interesting, and I talked, to my agency, and they were like, everybody's got brain mush here. I just think that's hilarious. Like the first day back, everybody's still fucking exhausted. Like the first day back is like a throwaway day. Like
Yes.
people just go in
Yes.
and they're, hey, Tom, hey, Frida, hey, Lou, hey, Heather,
Yeah.
hey, Steve, hey, Ron, and it goes on and on.
How
like
were
that.
your holidays? Great? Oh, mine too.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little out of it. Oh, me too. We just came back from Big Bear. Really? Oh, we came back from Sparrow Lake. Oh, how is Sparrow Lake?
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Did you eat too much? I ate way too much.
Oh, yeah. Did you eat too much?
Yeah.
Drank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I drank too much.
Got fucked up. I got
Yeah.
hammered. I slept with my mother-in-law. It was a great weekend.
It was a great weekend. I entered recovery. I went through the 28-day rehab process and just got out just in time for the holidays. So how are you? What? Imagine that. You slipped that in and they're like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
You went into rehab? How?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went into rehab. I just, during the holidays, they call the holidays hurricane season for alcoholics. Did you know that, Midge? Jesus Christ, I didn't know that.
I do. I love the guy who's keeps it real when everybody
In
else is
casual
like,
conversation.
Yeah, like great stuff. Did you eat too much? What'd you get? How was your holiday? Oh my gosh, the kids. And then you're like, yeah. I was in a 28-day outpatient rehab facility.
Yeah, I knew I had to go in when I hit a family at a food market. I was drunk on a little peppermint schnapps, and I was doing tinctures of marijuana,
my
of THC. Yeah.
Sounds
What?
like a wild holiday.
I just wanted to talk about what you ate. That's the least of it.
Yeah. I do like that guy because there's always so much fake shit happening in the office with that stuff. I don't know how long it's been since you worked at an office, but
Me?
oh yeah.
Oh God.
It's-
I used to work in an office. I'll tell you. I used to do temp work in New York City, and they called me Shakes the Clown because
What?
because I would come in just imagine me in a suit. I would come in ill-fitting suits, and I was always late.
Yeah.
But they liked me because I was funny.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They knew I was a wayward person. You know what I mean? Like I didn't belong there.
Yeah.
And I would come in, and it was horrible temp work. It was like I would be filing things.
Yeah.
You know?
And you in your ill-fitting suit as a wayward man.
And I just would be into the pretty women in the office.
Wow, I get that.
That would keep me going. I'd be like, I remember Erica was very cute, and she was my boss, and I came in for that, like just to flirt around with her, and she thought I was hilarious because I told her I was a comic, and I'm doing this because I absolutely have no money anymore.
Yeah.
You know, when you get that, you ever get down to like I don't know, fucking $100.
Oh yeah.
And you're down to 100, and you have to give 50 of it to whatever.
Right.
And so then you're down to 50, then you spend 20, you're down to 30, and you're realizing you're heading to zero.
Yeah.
That's when I would call the temp agency. And they hated me. I'll tell you, they hated me. I'll just tell this quick story, then we'll get into the decline of this.
This is the good stuff. I like this stuff.
We'll get into the decline of this civilization and what Apocalypse Soon is all about.
This is the prequel to the decline, you know?
Well, yeah, because it's all about corporate culture and just the mechanization, the bureaucracy, the shit you have to do to make a living, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I wasn't equipped to. Anyway, I'll never forget. I was new to a temp agency, and you know they try to vet you, you know, and they didn't see my criminal record or whatever. They didn't, because I had gotten, you know, caught. I had gotten caught with people in my trunk.
Oh.
In a beautiful. I had a beautiful Mustang, and it came with a couple of people in the trunk. I had no clue. And at a traffic stop, you know, the police saw I said, I don't know who put them in the trunk.
Yeah,
and
they were in there when I got it.
They were in there when I got it. No, but anyway, this was the story. So I go to my first temp job for this company, and it turns out I have to collate. And I lied about knowing how to run a collating machine. So they said, are you familiar with this machine? And I looked at him and I said, oh, I am. Can you run it by me again?
Yeah.
And they showed me, and it was so fucking complicated.
Yeah.
Like to do this collation, right? That I asked to go to the bathroom and left the building. I kid you not. And that was my solution to stuff back then. I was a big, irresponsible pothead. I think I was young. You know, I was only like in my early 40s.
Yeah. Just
and so
young man.
I just excused myself. I said, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. Later that day, I got angry messages. Those were the days of answering machines. And
Yeah.
You've reached Eddie. Please leave a message. Boop. Eddie, this is Thompson Temp Agency. How could you just leave? Like, this woman was so pissed at me.
Yeah.
And I never called back, and I soon signed with another temp agency. And I put down not a collator.
Yeah.
You know?
I love you said something on the Bitter Buddha that I saw recently again, and you had said something about that you love people pleasing. You love pleasing people, or not love, but you have a problem with trying to keep people happy, which leads you to lie about things.
Did I say that in the Bitter Buddha? It's true.
Yeah, and I can relate to that because I don't have any ill will, but there are situations where, like, they're like, do you know how to do collating? And I'm like, I'm probably supposed to know how to do collating. So like, absolutely. And then I've been in those type of situations like that. And it's brutal, but it does come from a place of like a feeling of inadequacy, and then like a trying to do the right thing kind of a, you know. But,
well, for me, it was like, I thought I had said I knew how to do it so I could get the job so I could make money. But then when I'm so lazy that they showed me all it would entail, and I just was like, this is what happens with me. I go, fuck this. For whatever it is.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was what, $9 an hour? I don't know
Right,
what
right.
it was. It was not great money. But anyway, glad I didn't take Southwest Airlines this Christmas, huh?
Oh yeah. Could have been bad.
I've taken them a bunch.
Oh, they're the cheapest option every time. Yeah, I'm always tempted.
Are they always the cheapest? Yeah.
They're usually pretty dang cheap, and you have to fly in like a chicken cage or whatever. But
No, they're not cheaper than Spirit, which is just
that's true.
the lowest.
Yeah.
But yeah, Southwest though, and someone pointed out to me that COVID relief they were giving airlines. If you remember this, do you remember this, Rob? They were giving the airlines a lot of money to keep going because nobody was flying.
Right.
I got Rob involved because, sometimes I look at you and it's such a blank slate. But Southwest took a lot of money from the federal
They give
government.
them money every year,
Yeah.
They do?
nonstop. Yeah, the airlines, nonstop. We basically pay for them with our tax money.
Unreal.
Yeah.
On what grounds do we give them money? Do we know?
In order to prop up businesses, it's like for business
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, they got so much money. I think it was in the billions when COVID was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So why I'm mentioning that, this is just so typical of corporations. Instead of putting that money into upgrading their software, which according to their CEO is why it broke down
Yeah.
this holiday season, that their software wasn't up to date. They couldn't handle the cancellations from
Yeah.
the weather, I think it was. And everything backed up and it was a fucking nightmare. So they got fucked.
Yeah.
And I think they're back up and running, right?
They are back. But
And people go because they're cheap.
Yeah. The corporations are so fucking stupid, man. It blows me away. Like,
Well, they're greedy and they're short-term
yeah.
thinkers.
I worked for Wells Fargo for like 13 months, and
Ooh.
it's like a multi-billion-dollar corporation. But the software that I had to learn how to use was developed in the early 90s. And like
When did you work for Wells Fargo?
This would have been like 2005 or 2006. And yeah, it was right in the middle of the subprime mortgage bullshit, and I was working in subprime mortgage at that time.
No way.
Yeah, it was brutal. I had,
Were you involved in the malfeasance?
No, I was bad at it because my boss, and his name was Gustafson, and he would dip and he would have sunflower seeds in his mouth at the same time.
Tobacco dip?
Yeah, and he was about 400 and something pounds. And so he would get in the mornings. We'd have these morning powwows. And
Dude, he just Jabba the Hutt.
serious,
What would he say?
He'd have his cup. He'd have his big gulp cup, and he'd have seeds. He'd be chewing, spitting them like, yeah, fucking. Look, if they don't want to refinance, get some, like, ask them their dreams. Like, say, like, you ever thought about getting a boat?
Oh,
And he's spitting the whole time, and they'll go, "Oh, you like a boat?" And they go, "We could refinance you. I mean, at 0.7%."
what does refinancing mean?
So if you have a house that's worth $100,000, but you've paid off $20,000 of it,
Okay.
then you can basically say, "I'll put my house up as collateral, and I'll redo the loan for the full value of the house, even though you only owe 80." You'll say you basically have the bank loan you. What
How much?
the value, the $20,000 over it or whatever. So you'd refinance it for $100,000. You only owe 80, so then you take $20,000 for yourself. So when the market was booming, we'd have houses, and this was in the Central Valley, that were, people bought them for $70,000, $120,000, and they were worth $300,000, $400,000. So then we'd call them up and be like, "Hey, your house, looks pretty good." They're like, "Oh, we're retired. We love it. Everything's good. We got no bills. It's fantastic." I go, "Yeah, but what if you had a pool though? You could get a pool and we could refinance it right now, very low terms, and we get you a pool. You go on vacation. They go, oh, that sounds lovely. I'd love to do that." And then, 5 months later, they can't pay the bills and they end up blowing their brains out over the phone.
Why
It's
couldn't
like,
they pay the bills 5
well,
months later?
so during the subprime mortgage thing, and I hate this to be an educational thing, but
No, I always have trouble figuring this shit out.
the big thing was that everybody there was a shit ton of money that came in from overseas and investors that had money that were investing into real estate. So much so that when people would go to a bank and say, I want to buy a house or I want to refinance, the bank would just be like, well, we have $78 quadrillion. So yes, to everybody.
Right.
So you could get a house, a $1 million home. And I'd be like, Eddie, the payments are only $325 a month. And you're like, for this $1 million home, how is that? And you go, well, because you're paying interest only or even less than interest only payments.
Right.
And so then in a year when it's due, there would be a balloon payment because you've only been paying on the interest. And at that point, the people couldn't afford it. They could barely afford the interest only.
Didn't they explain the balloon payment to them? Or no?
Of course. But people, they don't.
They would put that aside.
Yeah, it's like us, it's like us with pot. You would like, we know. We know the stuff, the consequences or whatever. Like, yeah, but I can't.
Well, I know.
Yeah, well, I do. Yeah, you've been through it. But yeah, that's pretty much. And Gustafson would just be sitting there, just going,
Gustafson,
do it. He used to take us to Golden Corral for meetings, the buffet. Dude,
I've been in the Golden Corral. Yeah,
it was a wild
I can just
time.
see him at the buffet, like he's got his cup, spitting. It just sounds like a Jabba the Hutt character,
He got a bonus and he showed up with, it had to be like a $70,000 brand new Dodge Charger. It was so decked out and he wrecked it within like 5 days.
Did he really?
Yeah, and then he was bragging about
And he was way overweight, huh?
huge. He was a huge guy. And he was an asshole, and it was just the worst.
I'm thinking unmarried, or was he married?
No, he was married. He was
He was
married. He had a
married.
kid and everything. And the thing about it was like he would be sweet sometimes, but the majority of the time he was just an asshole. And yeah,
Is he dead?
probably. I hope so. No, I don't know. I would imagine it's been 20 years, So, but I
right,
don't know.
that's right.
But it's time.
Well, if you're listening, Mr. Gustafson, I hope you have found the gym. I hope you have found a plant-based diet. I hope you're, as a matter of fact, maybe for you, Mr. Gustafson, a liquid diet for a while. A friend of mine told me if I wanted to lose weight, I should just drink green juice for a year.
Yeah, I mean,
And I tried it for half a day, and I was starving.
I've had people say stuff like, "Oh, you just eat broth. Just eat broth for a year. You'll be svelte."
I could just see going into a diner, going, "Hey, Marjorie. Oh, hi, Al. Should I get you the usual mashed potatoes, double cheeseburger?" Negative, Marjorie. Negative. Let me get a large cucumber celery juice. We don't have that, Al. We just have orange juice or tomato juice. Nope, I need a green juice. What, you want these mashed potatoes or pancakes? Okay.
That's always how my diet ends too.
Well, it's tough, man. It's tough. If you like just saying pancakes right now. I haven't had pancakes in a long time.
My wife makes pancakes with protein pancakes, and we get blueberry syrup or huckleberry syrup.
Ooh, huckleberry syrup.
baby.
I don't even know what a huckleberry is, but it sounds fucking good. Is it red?
No, it's like purplish.
Okay, so it's like a dark berry.
Yeah.
What berry isn't dark, for
I don't
fuck's
know.
sake?
I love a good berry syrup. It's
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Perry Como.
All right,
losing
well,
my mind.
There's something. You're like, there's something.
Mary
Well,
Como.
Berry Como.
Barry Como.
Or Berry White.
Or Marion Berry.
Marion Berry, the mayor who smoked crack
Yeah.
in Washington, D.C., right?
Yeah, he's
Whatever happened to him?
No,
I think he soon after became a game show host
did he?
on the Game Show Network. He replaced Chris Hardwick.
I like
Hard work.
Yeah. No, he
Hello,
really
I'm
stuck-
Marion Barry. No, that sounds Swedish. Hold on. I'm Marion Barry, and we are about to play Fuck Me. I'm caught by the police. Mr. Mayor, you see the police. Mr. Mayor, please put down the crack pipe. You try to balance this budget, motherfucker.
It's just a game show where Marion Barry gets confronted by the police. We don't know how the points come out, but the police come out and he just
Mr. Mayor, please, you are not supposed to be near a school. Why not? Because you have crack. You're constantly smoking crack, sir. So what? Sir, let's not. It's a game show, bitch. Anyway, that's my Marion Barry hosting a game show.
I got to get you to do more Marion Barry impersonations.
I don't know.
I'm a big fan.
Hey, everybody. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew, the online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in chewable tablets at a fraction of the cost. So what I'm talking about here are dick pills, kids. Dick pills. Now, I know a lot of people out there, mostly men are having problems with erections. And let me tell you something, I'm no stranger to that. I sometimes, when I really, really am in an important rendezvous situation with a lady, old Captain Johnson, old Captain Fredericks has trouble getting up there. And so I came across Blue Chew. And let me tell you something. My penis now is like a Louisville Slugger. My penis is like an athlete at this point. The rest of my body, not that athletic, but it seems to have a mind of its own. So
Mickey Mantle signed your penis at one point. I remember.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. If you want someone like Mickey Mantle to sign your cock, you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform. Chew it and do it. Have better sex. Try Blue Chew for free. Use promo code PEP at checkout, and you just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, code PEP, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And thank you, Blue Chew, for supporting the podcast. Now, I use Blue Chew mainly to masturbate with, because I don't like to ejaculate right away when I'm masturbating. So I'll chew a Blue Chew up, and it's like an enormously long and difficult masturbation session.
Well, you say things that come easy aren't worth it. You've
right.
always said that about masturbation.
I've always said that. Yes.
Yeah.
I walked many miles to school. I just wanted. I pushed piano. I'm Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Pushing that rock up that goddamn hill called life. So Blue Chew, everybody. I use them to masturbate. And I'm really impressing myself with how long that. I like to impress myself, because sometimes I'll catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror and go, "Oh my God, you look great, Eddie. I'd like to fuck you."
Yeah, I
take a Blue Chew and I masturbate, and it takes 6 hours.
Yeah, I use them to threaten my wife. I'll just start jiggling the pills sometimes, and she goes, "Don't, no, not today. I can't. I haven't prepared emotionally." And I go, "Honey,
I haven't prepared emotionally." All right, everybody, let's get started. The other big news item, Southwest, who took all the money and ran billions, and they have their CEO doing this mea culpa about, we failed, and we're going to do better. Meanwhile, they just took all the money and had huge profits from it. The other big story was an NFL player. Now, do you know this? You're not a sports fan, but this I mean, even people who aren't sports fans had to hear about this. An NFL player, after a play, he got hit. He was actually the guy tackling the other guy, Cincinnati versus Buffalo, and he collapsed on the field. He actually stopped breathing. They had to give him CPR, put him in an ambulance. He's still in critical condition.
Wow.
He basically died on the field, but they brought him back to life. And he's improving, but still in critical.
Jesus.
As of this recording. And it really was like, I wasn't watching it, I saw the highlight, and just like, it just highlighted how violent football really is. And just how, I mean, I love watching football, and it's almost because of that, if I'm honest. It's like such a gladiatorial game.
Yes.
It's so and this guy basically died. It was cardiac arrest.
Insane.
And he's still being kept alive with the tube, but he's like holding hands now with his family.
A professional athed doing
and
what
this
he
is
does.
A professional athlete.
That's insane, man. It's
someone
funny.
like Gustafson would have. He probably would have had cardiac arrest just getting into the
but he used to
the
tell
outfit.
putting the pants on. I've gotten out of breath from pulling pants on. He used to talk about the glory days of his football career.
He did not.
100%. A lot of guys I knew were like that.
I could just see him spitting. I remember, this is my impersonation of Gustafson. I remember I was on the 25-yard line, and I was running to glory. That's him spitting, not farting.
I was running to glory. He sounds a little Southern.
Yeah, I don't know why. But anyway, so that really put a spotlight on the fucking just brutal nature of the NFL. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you did not hear about this.
I was playing video
because
games.
it wasn't even a sports thing after a while.
Yeah, I don't watch football,
You're not.
but I heard about the.
Of course, yeah. What were your thoughts? Any? Because you're not a sports fan.
I'm not a sports guy, but I was confused by what the connection was between having like a cardiac arrest and delivering a tackle.
That's true. Well, yeah, because I think a lot of people thought it was head trauma.
Right.
Which I don't know. I mean, I've been smacked around, but my heart never.
Well, I think a lot of times with that stuff, you can get issues. Like if you have an issue with your leg or something, and those.
Oh, I have an issue with my leg.
I've heard of it. It's a world
I'm
renowned.
pissed at my right leg.
Are you?
Yeah, my right leg is always giving me shit. Go ahead.
No, but you can get blood clots. So if you injure yourself, like in the leg or something, it can create a blood clot, which can go into your arteries and then all that stuff. So that may have something to do with it, or it could have just been the force shock of the jerkiness could have told his brain to stop, having his heart pump. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing about it, but I'm speculating.
Yeah. I think they were saying it was football related. I think for sure.
Yeah.
But just like all the players, all these tearful, like and I get it, like we hope he's okay, and the players are crying. But I mean, that is, I just can't believe it doesn't happen more often. If you watch the game, it is so fucking violent.
Well, the CTE thing is epidemic with those guys. A lot of those guys aren't able to live functional lives in their older years. Yeah,
after
because
football. Yeah.
all of the bang.
So they really are modern day gladiators for all intents and purposes.
Did you see that study about soccer players?
What about them?
So I back when I was going to be a psychiatrist at some point, I
were you?
I was in college. I
could just see you as a shrink going, hi. Yes, so first of all, as you can see, I forgot to get tissues. So don't cry today, okay? And also, I'd just like to ask you a couple of questions. Why are you here? Well, I got lost. I'm looking for the bakery. Okay, now that sounds like a defense mechanism. Did you have a bad childhood? No, I just want to get some rolls. Where is 125 Elmwood? This is 126 Elmwood. That's what I thought. But look, this is your only patient in 3 years of psychiatry. Don't leave. Well, I want to get a roll, buttered roll. Do they still sell buttered rolls? I thought that was a thing of the past. Oh, no, this bakery next door has it, 125 Elmwood. Oh, you mind if I come with you? Sure. So you're a shrink? I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
This is how
you ever fuck your mother? What? No, you ever think about fucking your mother? Jesus Christ, that's a personal question. I used to have elaborate fantasies of fucking my mother on the Lido deck of a nice cruise ship. I think you could benefit with therapy. Let's just get a buttered roll and call it a fucking day, Doc.
That would be my solution as a psychiatrist now. I'd be like,
no, but I interrupted you about what were you going to say?
Well, so there was a study about soccer players in college.
Okay, yeah.
From their freshman year to their senior year would lose a standard deviation. Basically, you lose 15 IQ points because of all the heading of the ball. And that impact.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It was one of the studies that I had to look at when I was in college. But yeah, that impact of the head. And then apparently soccer or football is incredibly bad for you. Even more injuries in soccer than there is in football because
soccer is football, but go ahead.
You know what I mean? But they're not wearing pads, but the heading and the fall.
Well, I've watched both sports.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that football, American football is, it's so vicious.
But they have the pads on, though, and I think that accounts for a lot.
That's true.
But I don't know. This is all very scientific. From my years as a psychiatrist.
That is funny though. Not funny, but that headers. Because a lot of seals have neurological damage, from balancing that ball on their head. A lot of people would say their nose.
Yeah.
But to me, it hits their, they're constantly jerking that ball up in the air. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them could have been Navy SEALs, and they never made it that far because of the, putting the ball, people like to see a SEAL.
Yeah.
Balancing a ball on their head, and they had ambitions to be a Navy SEAL, which they wanted to Navy SEALs, they rescue folks, they go on kill and destroy missions.
Yeah, they'll honk horns with their nose and play songs. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That's fucked up. What they do to animals in general is so fucked up and so disgusting, and it's awful. Should we get to a guided meditation? Let's get everybody back into this. We're already well into the podcast.
Yeah, we are well into it. But sometimes we
we're just coming back. We have mush brain from the holidays. Here we go.
But these people, they just want to see.
Fuck them.
Would you like me to change the lighting for the guided meditation?
Oh, yeah. Let's dim it down a little.
Oh, really?
What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know we could do that.
Oh, yeah. We can dim it down a little bit.
Oh, my God. Now I really feel like...
We're going to warm these lights up a little bit?
Yeah, warm them up. Let's get it warm in
My God,
here.
folks.
Ladies.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take it easy. Set your cares aside on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back after the big holidays. The holiday season is a season of stress. It's a season of taking a gun away from Uncle Hank, who drank a little too much. It's talking your aunt out of jumping off the porch, which isn't that high, but still your aunt is coked up and on melon balls. So you're back. You're back from all the family stuff. I hope you're in light-fitting clothing, like something beige or off-white or alabaster white or bone white or you just don't, an off-white. something not garish. I had someone walk into my studio the other day in a bright purple outfit, and I just hit her with the Zen stick and told her to get the fuck out of my studio with that kind of outfit on. She then came back with the police. I've recently been released from county, and here we are. So with your first in-breath, I want you to think about all the bills that have piled up during the holidays, and because you were smoking a lot of weed and drinking a lot of booze and snorting a lot of cocaine and injecting methamphetamine into the head of your penis, I want you now to think of all the bills that you thought would never come back to haunt you because you were like, it's the holidays, why should I pay a bill? Breathe that in, that you made a very big mistake. And now, with your first out-breath, I want you to breathe out the fact that your power you've gotten the final notice that your power is being turned on. But you know what? You don't mind the dark. Breathe that out, that you don't mind the darkness, and that you'll make do. You'll light one of your gifts on fire you got this holiday season just to keep your place warm. Your light. You hate slippers. You hate slippers. You hate everything. You hate. All the gifts you got, you'll light them in fire to keep place warm. Now with your next in-breath, I want you to breathe in the fact that maybe it isn't a good idea to have an affair with your dentist. Now, this may be a personal one for me, but I want you all to breathe that in, that maybe it isn't a good idea to have an affair with your dentist. You think, oh, this is a good idea. I mean, he makes a tremendous amount of money. You know, he's always telling me to rinse. I like that. I like someone who has good hygiene. He's got all these numbing agents. He's got laughing gas. And, you know, besides his big belly, he's a nice guy. Boring, but I think it might be good to have intercourse with him. Now, breathe it in that wasn't a good decision, and I'm sorry if that's too personal. And now, with your next out-breath, I want you to just let it go that his wife caught you in your 1999 Ford Wagoneer, blowing the dentist. I want you to breathe that out. Let it go. Let that horrible memory go where his wife caught you in the Ford Wagoneer outside his home. You were both exchanging laughing gas canisters, and he was telling you to rinse, and she was angry. And now with your next in-breath, I want you to realize that it's a new year and a new beginning, and you're not going to sleep with any more dentists. You're not going to sleep with any more doctors or accountants or lawyers. You're going to keep your promiscuousness to the lower classes, not the professional classes. You're going to sleep with people commonly known as whores and prostitutes and, you know, just big old dick suckers behind a 7-Eleven late at night. That's what you're gonna do. And now it's a new year. I want you to breathe that in, that it's a new year. And with your final out breath, I want you to think of Keith Moon, the former drummer of The Who, who choked on his own vomit. And I want you to realize that you will not end up like Keith Moon, because there is now Narcan, which will give you
us for another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
I feel like that was a little dark. I'm sorry, folks. I think it's because of the holidays. Let's go right into, because we spent time.
Yeah.
Let's do a drive-in in the rain. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
And now, the continuing saga of Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
Oh, boy. I haven't seen rain like this since the last time I saw rain like this. It was coming down in droves. You couldn't see an inch in front of you. And whenever I can't see an inch in front of me, I like to drive. So I got into my car. I put on my Uber app. I was in my element, my Honda Element, which was also an Uber, an Instacart, /Bloodmobile, /DoorDash, /vaccination, /therapy mobile, /bookmobile, all of the apps from the gig economy, and I started to drive here in Los Angeles. It was a bomb cyclone, all the moisture coming in over the Pacific into northern and then southern California where I was. The car kept hydroplaning, but I didn't mind that at all. I had a flight attendant with me. She was like, "Buckle up, bitch." I was like, "Who are you, Jesse? From Breaking Bad?" She said, "No, I'm a flight attendant and you're hydroplaning." I said, "Look, I gotta deliver a pizza to a beautiful broad." And she said, "Go ahead," and we hydroplaned our way down La Cienega Boulevard. And the rain was coming down so hard that it just made you think, my God, I wish I was home. I just wish I was home and I didn't have to earn money in this goddamn gig economy. And just then, a man walked in front of my car. I jammed on the brakes. The flight attendant said, "Emergency." I said I'd like a pillow. I said, if you're a flight attendant, I'm going to start asking you flight attendant things. Also, I want a meal that's dairy-free. She said, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're driving an Uber /blood." You got all of those things. The man, I jammed on the brakes and we hydroplaned. We hydroplaned right toward him. He turned out to be a well-known circus performer named Mr. Buttons. I recognized him in the last second. He was able to nimbly tumble. He was a tumbler, and he nimbly tumbled away from my car, and I rolled down the window and I said, "Buttons, you're an asshole," and I kept driving. I hate when circus performers get in my way. I had to deliver a pizza to a gorgeous broad down La Cienega, and the rain just came down harder. I looked in the back seat, and the flight attendant, for some reason that beguiles me, had hung herself, and it was very difficult to do in my Honda Element. The ceilings were low. I don't know how she did it, but there she was, dangling from my light on top of the Honda Element, the little indoor light that you have on a car. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I pulled over. I gently took her out of the car and put her on a hillside grassy knoll, not unlike the one where Kennedy was shot, the little grassy knoll. I never believed that it was a lone gunman, which was also a short-lived show on Fox that a friend of mine, Dean Haglund, did. And Dean couldn't believe they canceled it after 6 episodes, but that's Los Angeles, ain't it? And that's why I'm driving an Uber/Lyft/Bloodmobile/Instacart/DoorDash/Uber Eats/Riss. So I laid the flight attendant down on the grassy knoll. I did a couple of Hail Marys over her, and I got back in my car real quick, like the rain was pounding down. I knew nobody had seen me because you couldn't see an inch in front of you unless someone was an inch away from me. They did not see me doing that. And just then, I got back in the car, and again, Mr. Buttons was in front of my car. I said, Buttons, are you trying to collect insurance? Are you one of these people who throws themselves in front of cars because tumbling isn't paying the living wage? And he said to me in one of the most cockeyed accents I'd ever heard, he said, I am a tumbler. I said, fuck you, Buttons. I would not throw myself in front of your car. I am just lost. I can't see in the rain. I said, Buttons, I liked your early work. You were tumbling in a very artistic manner, and lately I saw you tumble for Verizon on a commercial like Giamatti, you little whore. Yes, I needed the money. I said, get out of my way, Buttons. I gotta deliver a pizza to a beautiful, beautiful broad on La Cienega. And just then, I tried to start the car, and it wouldn't start. I said, Buttons, you know anything about engines? And he just tumbled away from me. I said, fuck it. I sat in the back, and I started to eat the pizza. The rain pounded down. It was like an alcoholic pounding drinks at 2 p.m, watching UFC after his wife left him.
Thanks for joining us on another Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
That was a good one.
I like the visualization of you sitting in the back eating the pizza next to the dead body on the outside.
That was dark, too. I don't know what's going on. I
think it's the lighting.
It could be the lighting. It could be that it's, the first time back after the holidays.
Yeah. I mean, I keep it, you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. You know what I mean? And that's what I think a lot of these improvised sketches are, is they're gifts to the viewing public. And, if you look at it and you go, oh, I don't know, it was a little dark. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's their problem.
Fuck you, buddy.
It's a little too dark.
I think that's the proper response.
Yeah. I mean, you're making this shit up on the spot.
That's right.
You know what? What are you gonna yell at Franklin for some of his lesser known inventions? I mean, fuck off. It's beautiful.
Let's do a last newscaster.
All right, let's do it.
We haven't done that one in a while. All right.
And now join us in the field for the last newscaster on Earth.
Good evening. This is fucking insane. I am fucking insane. And our top story tonight, I am fucking insane. And this time I'm not introducing myself. I am telling you my name. I am just telling you my state of mind. Our top story tonight, I'm fucking insane. I'm out of my goddamn mind because there's nobody on this planet. In other news, I'm still fucking crazy. I can't believe the planet just fucking deteriorated. Why? Why did I have to survive? Why don't I have the balls to kill myself? All right, let's go to fucking insane for sports. Today in Screaming, I won in Screaming. Here's some highlights from today's action in Screaming. And that's it in sports. Let's go to me for traffic. Fucking, what do you see out there? Nothing! I don't see a fucking thing! All right, well, that's the news, folks. I am the last newscaster and probably the last person on Earth, and I'd like to say good night, but I can't because no night is good. Ah! Okay, bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for another Last Newscaster on Earth.
Boy, he's a troubled guy.
It keeps getting darker. You know what? That I've never thought about that being such the upside of the end of the world is the traffic. You know what I mean? The traffic would really go down.
That's true.
It's kind of nice.
Fucking couldn't appreciate it. He's in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point of the podcast in a way, is that, with the deterioration of social programs, because all of, so much of our gross national product is taken, domestic product is taken by the military industrial complex, on and on and on with, profits before people. And that's what happened. That's the theme that unites this podcast, is that you get these kind of characters at the end of civilization. Yes. This would have been a great podcast and an uplifting podcast, say, 1970s.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know when it would have been good. But.
Your characters are existing in the reality that we have today. And if you have a problem with that, again, I'll say you can go fuck yourself.
Thank you.
Also,
thank you.
It's not a problem with the characters, a problem with the state of the world. You know what I mean? You're reacting to reality. That's right. And I think it's beautiful.
Are we done for this episode?
I think we should wrap her up.
All right, let's wrap her up.
Thanks, folks, for checking out Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.
Please podcast with no upside, folks.
No upside. Go leave us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Has anybody been reviewing us lately?
We've gotten a couple of reviews recently.
All right, send those to me. Were they good?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, most of them were complimenting me, but it's no.
How do you do it? How do you sit there listening to that shit?
Send us an email to eddypeppodcast@gmail.com, and please go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. We've just hit a landmark.
1,000?
1,000 subscribers on there. Guys, fucking go over there and do it. I
have too many YouTube channels.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Delete
folks,
the ones that don't.
Well, it costs nothing to subscribe to all 26 of Eddie's YouTube pages.
No, but with what is it called? The one that works?
It just says you'll see this logo, and you'll know
you'll see the Apocalypse Soon logo, folks.
You'll also see about 100 and something videos on there, and I think that's the only channel that's like that. That has we're constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Well, we have playlists of guided meditations. Of driving in the rain.
Yeah, if you're contemplating suicide and you want to have something on in the background, put on a playlist. You know what I mean? Like, it's helpful for me.
Or if you're contemplating a career change, it works.
I put on your playlist of the Allen Margaret while I make love to my wife, and it's just that back and forth, and she loves it. She loves it.
Well, there's a lot of tension in the Allen Margaret sketches, and tension plays well in the bedroom.
She loves some tension. So, go do all that stuff. Calls to action, BlueChew.com. We appreciate you.
We'll see you next time on Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.